Hello everyone, thank you for being here today to learn about the power of choice, reimagining art education for deeper learning. My name is Abigail McDuff and I am excited to talk with you about how student choice can transform the art classroom into a more engaging, culturally responsive space. Today, we'll explore practical strategies that empower students to take ownership of their learning while making meaningful connections to their cultural identities. Before we dive in, let's talk about why we're here. Traditional art instruction often limits student autonomy and cultural expression. Many of us have experienced the frustration of students disengaging when they don't connect with the project. We also know that representation in curriculum matters. When students see themselves in what they learn, they are more motivated and engaged. Our goals for today are as follows: understand the benefits of a student-centered art curriculum, explore strategies for engagement and motivation, and provide actionable steps to begin shifting your art room. For the first section of our presentation, we will be considering why student choice matters. In many traditional art classrooms, we as teachers drive the lessons through one-size-fits-all projects. Students follow our steps, replicate our examples, and produce similar outcomes. While this can teach valuable techniques, it often stifles creativity and critical thinking. Students become passive learners rather than active creators. We've all seen students hesitate when asked to come up with their own ideas because they've been conditioned to follow directions rather than create independently. This lack of autonomy can lead to disengagement and lower motivation. So why shift to a choice-based approach? Research shows that student autonomy leads to greater motivation, deeper learning, and more meaningful artistic expression. When students have a say in their learning, they engage more fully, take creative risks, and develop confidence in their decision-making skills. Can you think of a time when a student created something deeply personal and meaningful in your class? How did that impact their engagement? Now let's connect this to culturally responsive teaching, or CRT. Culturally responsive teaching is an approach that validates and incorporates students' cultural backgrounds, making learning more meaningful and relevant. In an art room, this means using diverse perspectives, materials, and content to engage all learners. So how does student choice align with culturally responsive teaching? Choice allows students to bring their own identities, experiences, and traditions into their artwork and encourages exploration beyond Eurocentric artistic traditions. These strategies also empower students to choose themes and subjects that represent their own personal identities and explore their own cultures while learning about others. What cultures, identities, or perspectives are currently reflected in your art curriculum? What gaps might exist, and how could student choice help address them? To ensure engagement and motivation, it is important to consider research-based strategies. When students have autonomy in learning, their engagement and motivation increase. In the art room, this can mean offering different ways to approach a project, letting students select their materials, or encouraging self-directed exploration. We can also cultivate a growth mindset by emphasizing process over product. When students see mistakes as part of learning, they become more willing to take creative risks. Reflection, critique, and revision should be regular parts of the process, helping students develop resilience and confidence. A key component of culturally responsive teaching is representation. Incorporating artists from diverse backgrounds ensures that students see themselves mirrored in the curriculum. But beyond just learning about diverse artists, we should also encourage students to create work that reflects their own cultural identities. Here are some examples of culturally responsive prompts. Create an artwork inspired by a tradition or a story from your culture. Design an artwork that expresses your identity or community. Next, we will consider practical strategies for implementation. Shifting to a choice-based art room does not have to mean total chaos. It means structuring the classroom so students feel empowered to make decisions within a supportive framework. Organizing materials for accessibility, providing flexible guidelines, and setting up clear procedures, expectations, and routines help students work independently and confidently. It's important to remember that not all choice-based approaches look the same. Some teachers move to full choice, where students select everything from medium to subject. Others use partial choice, offering structured options. Even limited choice, where students pick from a set of themes or techniques, increases student agency. Which level of student choice feels the most manageable for you? Why? Assessment should also reflect student choice and process. Instead of grading only the final product, we can evaluate growth, effort, and decision-making using rubrics, self-reflections, and artist statements. Peer assessments also encourage dialogue and critical thinking. A shift to a choice-based art room can feel overwhelming. We are going to review some common concerns and actionable steps. What if students don't know what to do? Guiding questions and scaffolding will provide a sense of direction. How do I manage student choice without chaos? Setting up clear expectations and routines mitigates behaviors. The intrinsic motivation that comes with choice also prevents many obstacles. Will students still develop technical skills? By offering skill-building lessons within choice-based projects, students will develop valuable skills while still making creative choices. Change doesn't have to happen overnight. Here are a few small steps to start. Introduce choice gradually through sketchbook prompts or project options. Diversify your resources. Research and include artists from underrepresented backgrounds. Encourage storytelling. Have students create artwork that reflects their personal and cultural experiences. Reflect and refine. Adapt based on student experience and feedback. Let's consider some final takeaways as we wrap up. Remember, student choice fosters engagement, motivation, and creative independence. Culturally responsive teaching ensures all students see themselves in the curriculum. Small shifts can create a more inclusive and student-centered art environment. As a closing activity, write down one action step you will take in the next month to incorporate more student choice and culturally responsive teaching in your art room. Share with a partner how you will hold yourself accountable. Thank you so much for your time and your dedication to your students. I'd love to hear any questions or ideas you'd like to share. Before you go today, please take a moment to fill out an evaluation form. This will help improve future professional development materials. Again, thank you for your time, and I can't wait to hear what strategies you plan to apply in your art rooms.